We fight it out to the last.
But a lot of men might die.
It's the price of the freedom.
But what freedom? Not yours.
It's mine. Yes, my country, Pakistan.
कुछ ही घंटे पहले पाकिस्तानी हवाई जहाजों ने हमारे अमृतसर, पठानकोट, श्रीनगर, अवंतीपुर, उत्तरलाई, जोधपुर, अंबाला और आगरे के हवाई अड्डों पर बमबाजी की। मुझे जरा भी संदेह नहीं है कि विजयी भारत की जनता की, भारत की बहादुर सेना की होगी।
War is a means of fulfilling the overall national aim. This aim for us as it emerged during 1971 was liberation of Bangladesh.
Right from the beginning of this unfortunate situation that has arisen in the subcontinent, India had been asking for a political settlement acceptable to the elected and acknowledged representatives of the people of Bangladesh.
By October 1971, all efforts by the Government of India to secure the conditions for safe return of refugees to erstwhile Pakistan had failed. Mrs. Indira Gandhi's final peace-seeking mission abroad had also not resulted in fruits. As a result, preparations for the inevitable war had commenced. Although the main war effort was in the eastern sector, the army headquarters had directed to adopt a defensive posture and to undertake limited offensives with limited resources available in the western sector. As part of overall strategy, Headquarter Western Command directed to adopt dual responsibility of defense as well as offensive role, which was directed to guard and capture part of the Shakargar Bulge. Political development and escalation of events in Bangladesh in September to October 1971 made Headquarter Western Command think that concentrating our forces in strength opposite Bangladesh may tempt Pakistan to launch an offensive on the western border, even with near parity of forces. Hence, it was felt prudent to position troops for the security of the western border.
3,000 yards, you will find on the port and starboard side enemy concentration. Point for those.
The area of Shakargar salient was a critical portion of enemy territory, whose hub was the communication center of Pasrur. It protrudes eastward to the vital communication center and base of Pathankot and the Madhopur headworks. The triangle Pasrur, Philora, Dhamtal was the heart of the entire area. Hence, in 1971, fortifications were reported to be built around these towns with obstacles built ahead of them. Army headquarters has appreciated equitable amount of forces by both sides in this sector as far as infantry, armor, artillery and other attached troops are concerned.
During 1971 operations, the regiment was deployed in Shakargar Bulge in the Punjab sector, and we were supporting the operations of 2 independent armoured brigades.
There was a continuous anti-tank ditch protecting defence in front of Sialkot. Major townships of Zafarwal, Dhamtal, Kila Shobha Singh and Narowal were reported to have prepared anti-tank ditches around them. The ditch cum Band on Pak side runs parallel to the international border. On 12th October 1971, the orders for mobilization were received. One corps moved to its opt area. 39 Infantry Division, located in the Kangra Valley and closest to the border, was therefore ordered to deploy under command of 15 Corps and to cover the concentration of 1 Corps and also to ensure the security of the firm base for 1 Corps offensive ops. 1 Corps finalized its plan of offensive and issued its op order on 10th November. 39 Infantry Division, supported by 16 Cavalry, was to break out from Nandpur Ramgarh sector towards enemy rear to capture Sabspir, Rangre and Pasrur.
During operations against Pakistan in 1971, I was in Adjutant's command post when I received fire-plan orders from Captain H.G. Singh, OP officer with 1 Dogra mechanized battalion. This was a company attack on 17th night across the minefield of Harar Kalan.
7th December 1971. 7th Cavalry was under attack on 7th morning. At about midday, elements of 7th Cavalry encountered a minefield south of Tugelpur in area Parni. 2I Armoured Brigade was now ordered to break out of the rear of the line Harar Kalan, Harar Kurd through this minefield. This task was assigned to one horse group consisting of one horse and one dogra. Soon after crossing the line, one horse group came under heavy tank and machine gun fire from the direction of Harar Kalan and Munan. OC One Horse thereupon decided to launch an attack against Harar Kalan with one company, one dogra supported by one horse. Fire support for this operation was provided by 101 Field Regiment SP. 8th December 1971. One dogra was given the task of clearing Harar Kurd. 101 Field Regiment SP executed an effective fire plan to support this attack. Captain S.G. Singh of 101 Field Regiment SP was the forward observation officer with Bravo Company of one dogra. Bravo Company was the leading company in the FUP and came under heavy enemy artillery and small arms firing. Seeing that own troops were suffering heavy casualty, Captain S.G. Singh brought down effective artillery fire onto the enemy by moving from one vantage point to another under enemy shelling. During one such move, one of the officer's foot was partially blown off due to an enemy artillery shell. Unmindful of the injury, Captain S.G. Singh engaged an enemy MMG bunker and silenced them.
Finally, he took the company into attack, had a successful attack, captured the objective, and that's where he was fatally wounded and then became a martyr for the country.
This fire plan was repeated twice. However, he paid the highest sacrifice for the nation.
Though the attack was foiled, Captain S.G. Singh's heroism and fearless devotion to duty, for which he made the supreme sacrifice, was in the best traditions of the Indian Army. For this, he was awarded the Veer Chakra posthumously. The attack was repulsed with heavy casualty to own troops. Most casualties were inflicted once own artillery fire was lifted and troops were in the open without covering fire. Once these positions were subsequently cleared by a deliberate attack, it was discovered that area Harar Kalan, Munan were well-prepared positions with bunkers and dug-in tanks covered with protective minefields. Night of 9th and 10th December. Throughout the night, units carried out aggressive patrolling. At 0515 hours, patrol of 1 Mahar reported Harar Kurd vacant.
The formation, 2 Independent Armored Brigade, was given the task to clear Harar Kalan village. But even before they could launch an attack, they came under heavy shelling and the first attack was repulsed. That is the time when our regiment was called on to provide intimate fire support for these operations.
War is the final test for any soldier. We were sort of one of the few units from the artillery who were given the honor title of Harar Kalan. The village where this unit fought for 3 continuous days, fired over 10,000 rounds from each of the guns, had become red hot.
Commander decided to exploit the situation and ordered 15 grenadiers to move to Harar Kurd, being the nearest to it. 10th December, 0700 hours. One company of 15 grenadiers formed in general area Harar Kurd. Suddenly, the area came alive and the company was pinned down by accurate fire from the general area west and south of the village. At 800 hours, 15 Grenadier pushed in another company from the east to relieve pressure on its first company. At 12:45, Harar Kurd was secured and the battalion took up defensive positions and came under heavy fire from the village of Harar Kalan and general areas south of it. At 1300 hours, 1 Mahar was ordered to capture Harar Kalan and 3 Siklai was ordered to capture Munnar. 15 grenadiers were to provide the firm base. 22 Punjab was ordered to capture Shahbazpur.
On night 9/10, the attack was planned and executed by 1 Mahar battalion, which was again supported by 101, and this time it was successful and the Harar Kalan was captured.
The night of 10th and 11th December. During the day, one horse claimed destruction of 6 Sherman tanks in Shahbazpur, including 3 Sherman tanks in area Harar Kalan, while 7 cavalry claimed 2 in area Bahir. 1 Mahar attacked at 2100 hours and secured Harar Kala by 2300 hours, thanks to the effective fire support provided by 101 Field Regiment SP. Throughout the ops, the 101 Field Regiment SP provided accurate and timely firepower to the supporting arms, resulting in heavy enemy casualties in terms of personnel and equipment. All ranks displayed selfless devotion to duty and bravery during the war.
In total, during the operations, the regiment earned the battle honor of Harar Kalan.
101 is the only SP regiment having got an honor title post-independence.
101 Field Regiment SP for the courageous and outstanding performance during the ops was bestowed the battle honor Harar Kalan. The handwritten history of the command post log written by the gun position officer shows that before the enemy was silenced at Harar Kalan, there were 1,184 rounds pounded on the enemy. On the Western Front, the task of the Indian Army was to basically hold ground, while the Pakistan Army had to attack and capture enough territory to offset likely losses in eastern Pakistan. In the 1971 operations, Pakistan Army could occupy some territories only in Cham, Hussainiwala and Fazilka sectors. These gains were smaller than the Pakistan losses in the Shok Valley, Kargil, Chicken's Neck, Shakargarh and Barmer areas. Pakistan therefore had no advantage of conquered territories in the peace negotiations after the loss of the entire area of East Pakistan.
The instrument of surrender was signed in Dhaka at 16:31 hours Indian Standard Time by Lieutenant General A. Nazi on behalf of the Pakistan Eastern Command. Lieutenant General Jagdeep Singh Arora, GOC in command of the Indian and Bangladesh forces in the Eastern Theatre, accepted the surrender.
This was the basis for Pakistan's defeat in 1971.